What is the difference between midnight sun and polar night? If you've ever wondered about the extreme light conditions at the Earth's poles, you're in the right place. Let's explore two fascinating phenomena: the midnight sun and polar night. Imagine living in a place where the sun never sets or never rises for months. This is what happens in the polar regions due to the Earth's tilt. The midnight sun and polar night are two opposite natural phenomena that occur in these areas. During a polar night, the sun does not rise above the horizon for 24 hours or more. This happens because the Earth's axis is tilted about 23.5 degrees, causing certain regions above the Arctic Circle or below the Antarctic Circle to be blocked from receiving sunlight. In places like the North Pole, this period can last for 6 months, starting from the autumnal equinox in September until the vernal equinox in March. On the other hand, the midnight sun, also known as a polar day, is when the sun remains above the horizon for 24 hours or more. This occurs when the region is tilted towards the sun, receiving prolonged sunlight. Just like the polar night, the midnight sun can last for 6 months at the poles, but the duration varies depending on the latitude. To understand the difference, think of it like this. During a polar night, it's dark all day because the sun is below the horizon, while during the midnight sun, it's light all day because the sun is above the horizon. The farther you are from the equator and closer to the poles, the longer these periods last. For example, in the northern hemisphere, the winter solstice marks the beginning of polar night above the Arctic Circle, while in the southern hemisphere, it's the start of the midnight sun below the Antarctic Circle. Conversely, during the summer solstice, the opposite occurs. The northern hemisphere experiences the midnight sun, and the southern hemisphere experiences polar night. The impact on daily life is significant. During polar nights, the lack of sunlight can affect mood and sleep patterns, increasing the risk of depression. People living in these areas often use artificial light sources like sun lamps to help manage these effects. In contrast, the midnight sun allows for continuous daylight, which can also disrupt sleep patterns, but in a different way. People might find it challenging to sleep when it's light outside all the time. In summary, the midnight sun and polar night are two extreme light conditions caused by the Earth's tilt. One brings continuous daylight, while the other brings prolonged darkness, each with its own unique effects on the environment and human life.